Alright, here we are, here we go. It is time to review the finale of Ultraman. Obviously I watched this end of October, and it is now December, but yeah, didn't have the time to record it when I was on holiday, before I went on holiday, and then I was busy in recent weeks with other things. But yeah, I guess I've been very Cosmos focused, so that's why. I know I mentioned this already in the previous review, but just in case, because it's the finale, people who didn't watch that might watch this, so just in case. Basically, I went on holiday just after I watched this. I did not have time to make the review. That's basically what you need to know. If you want more detail, other review episodes 37 and 38. This one is called Farewell Ultraman, and the kaiju, obviously Zetton, and the human, well, not disguised as a human, alien Zetton. This story that we've seen plenty of times in more modern shows. Zetton is my favorite Ultraman villain. It's a really cool kaiju. I need to get a figure, actually. I need to get a Zetton figure to add to my collection of figures. That should be on my agenda. But I kind of knew a big spoiler in this show. Like, I kind of knew that he does kill Ultraman. Partly because I've been told this so many times. Like, from years ago, people told me in the comments, Zetton is a powerful kaiju. He killed Ultraman. I'm just like, yeah, I've known this for a while now. That's one big detail I've known. Also, my new logo, Davidoff Films, on this channel, this yellow logo, that is modeled after Zetton. That is Zetton themed. And when I did the reveal video for that logo, I did put parts of that fight scene of Ultraman vs. Zetton to reveal my logo. So I've actually seen that fight scene as well. I'm pretty sure I've reacted to it too. I think I've reacted to that fight scene as well. So I have one big spoiler from the show, and that's the fact that Zetton kills Ultraman at the end. What I don't know is the context behind it and the rest of the episode, and also what happens after Zetton kills him. So yeah, there is that to talk about, and overall it was a very good episode that I really enjoyed. An interesting way to end this show, and I assumed the next show would be UltraSeven would directly continue on from that, which I'm looking forward to checking out. So at the start, it's revealed that flying saucers sent SOS to Earth, and they're flying towards them. And I immediately thought to myself, is this a disguise? Surely this is not good aliens. It looks like more like an invasion, and it seems like a trick. But yeah, they show SSSP bases in Paris, New York, London, Moscow, and Japan. And they all heard this message from them. And the Paris branch says that they will arrive at 02400. I said that wrong. 24 minutes past midnight Greenwich Mean Time, which is a UK thing, which is 9:24 a.m. Japan time, which is just 40 minutes away from when they hear the message, so it's very quick. They have to intensify their defenses. They're told the alien sources have been scouting Earth since 1930, and 40 years later, they're ready to invade, so this is a pretty serious thing. So they have this aircraft aerial battle, air defense versus these UFOs, and they managed to destroy the UFOs in their way, apart from the big one. So there's other smaller ones they destroy, but this big one they failed to destroy. The aliens, they want to take out Japan branch and Ultraman first, so they see them as the main threat to what they're doing, to their invasion. Japan branch and obviously Ultraman, who allies with Japan branch, so obviously they would target that first. It makes sense, and also it's a Japanese TV show, so of course, it's just like in an American movie about aliens, they attack America. So it's just like, it's about where it takes place and who's making the movie or the TV show. But also it makes sense because Ultraman is in Japan. Ultraman is fighting with SSSP in Japan. Of course they would attack that area first, so it makes complete sense strategically from the villains. But yeah, there's this man in the suit, right? So there's this man in a suit who's at the branch, the SSSP branch. He's advising him and talking to them, but he is in disguise. So he is not the real man. So the real man has been locked away and kidnapped and alien Zetton has taken his form, so taken his body, taken his consciousness, and gone undercover into the branch. Actually, I forgot Fuji's name, but when all the team is away, alien Zetton attacks Fuji, knocks her out, and starts destroying the SSSP base while everyone's away, trying to sabotage SSSP by taking out their comms, communications, and all of that stuff, and their technology, trying to dismantle them from the inside, which obviously would be very effective. The name of the man is Iwamoto. That's in my notes. I don't know why I put that at that part of the notes. I think that's probably because that's when I realized that was his name. I think so anyway. So yeah, the SSSP, they get back, the team get back, and they chase him from HQ, and they shoot him. They shoot alien Zetton. And this is when a big UFO comes in and introduces Zetton. So from this point forward, I'd basically seen most of the episode, but it was really cool to see it in context this time. And this big Zetton reveal that I also used for my logo reveal, it was really cool to see that with all the context behind it. The real Iwamoto is locked behind. He is back at the base somewhere. So Arashi and Hayata are ordered to go in and save the real Iwamoto. Hayata doesn't go in. He runs with Arashi, then he stops, turns around, and transforms. I'm just like, wow. He just gets away with that, but it's fine. Obviously, no one saw him transform, but still, the fact that he was ordered to go in and save someone, then he stopped and transformed. I'm just like, no one on the team will question him for that, I'm sure. I guess it's the end of the series anyway, but still, he's been doing stuff like that the whole series. It's always funny seeing that, because it happens in every show, and I'm just like, should it not be obvious? But it never is obvious to the characters until they find out for real that it was him, which I don't think happens in this show. But yeah, they have this fight, and I'm not going to describe the fight, but it was a really cool fight, and at the end, Zetton fires his beam, and Ultraman dies very dramatically from the Zetton beam. He couldn't take it. And then the shot you see of Zetton standing over Ultraman. Crazy camera angles. That was a pretty scary shot. Like, this powerful hero that's protected Earth this whole time has just been destroyed that quickly by this monster that is Zetton. I imagine, like, when people watched it back then, when it first released, especially kids, they would have been so devastated by that. I can imagine it. Obviously, I'm watching it many decades later, so it's a bit less of a shock to me, partly because I knew it was going to happen. But yeah, that shot of him standing over Ultraman as well, that would have terrified people. That is for sure, especially in the finale. Like, what a way to end the show, and then you make people wait for the next show for months and months. That is that is quite something. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, Ultraman gets flashbacks of while he's dying. He gets a flashback of him fighting Jiras, Jiras is a modified Godzilla suit, just like Gomez. That's also good timing, because I just watched the Arc episode a few days ago with Gomez, and Gomez and Jiras are basically like Godzilla suits that are modified. So I thought it's really fun, because my favorite kaiju is Godzilla. So I like seeing Jiras and Gomez here and there, because I know they're remodeled after Godzilla. So I find that really fun. So I like how they chose of all the flashbacks to do, of all everything in the show, of all the flashbacks to do, they did the one with Jiras. I thought that was quite interesting. So Iwamoto has a new prototype weapon to try out, and he gives it to Arashi, and Arashi kills Zetton with it. So Zetton is killed as well. There's a detail I didn't know. I know that Zetton kills Ultraman. I didn't know Zetton also dies, and he is killed by one of the members of his SSSP. A human kills him with this specialized weapon. This beam manages to completely destroy Zetton. Zetton tries to fly away. He shoots Zetton. Zetton explodes into rocks. I'm just like, oh, wow. Zetton dies just like that. That's crazy. There must be some powerful weapon. Sometimes humans can make some brilliant weapons in these shows, for sure. Kaiju killing weapons, like the ones in Mebius. I remember Mebius. What's the name? I've forgotten the guy's name. I've forgotten the sports player's name. He was always good with his gun. Always good with his gun in Mebius. He took down a few kaiju with it. I just found it really crazy how, like, oh, Zetton died just like that. Arashi just shot him just like that. That was really awesome. There's like the final boss as well, like the final kaiju of the show, killed by a human. I thought that was quite poetic, and also I think I mentioned Ide when he was doubting himself about Ultraman always saving them. This time Ultraman died and they finished the job, you know. Takes away some of Ide's doubts and also shows that humans can also protect themselves in this universe. You get this scene of another Ultraman arriving, and it is Zophy. So member Zophy from Nebula M78 arrives to take Ultraman back to the Land of Light, which I think was pretty awesome. I'm just like, I didn't know that was also in the show. I thought that was like, they had this concept of Land of Light even back then. I didn't even know that. So I'm just like, oh, Zophy's here. I thought Ultraman just dies and they end the show. No, Zophy's here. The way he talks is interesting. Like it echoes like I don't know like what, but the way it echoes is interesting. The way his voice is done. Ultraman does not want to sacrifice Hayata. He wants to let Hayata live, but he has to give his life to save Hayata. He wants to let Hayata go and be free. Obviously they'll have to separate, but he does not want to sacrifice Hayata. Ultraman says he wants to give his life to Hayata and leave the Earth. He's lived 20,000 years, and Hayata's young. Earthlings' lives are short, and he doesn't want to sacrifice him, which is completely understandable. You know, that is a fair explanation, and it shows how much he cares about Hayata and humans and Earth. Like, he loves humans, he loves Earth, he loves Hayata, he loves his human host. So of course he'd be willing to sacrifice him. Ultraman obviously always willing to be the hero, unless you're Belial, then you're not the hero. But most Ultramen would definitely do that too. So yeah, it's like it's just a common trait of Ultramen in general. Zophy, he sees how much Ultraman loves Earth. He sees how Ultraman loves humans and wants to protect them. So he agrees, and he decides to separate Ultraman from Hayata, and Hayata goes back to Earth. Well, he's on Earth anyway, but like he's back. He goes back to his team, everything like that, everything's okay. And then Ultraman and Zophy fly away. And I'm just like, oh, I thought he was sacrificing himself. So he survived that then. He survived that in the end. Because it's just that I was under the impression that by letting Hayata live, by separating them, that Ultraman would die. I thought the whole point of that scene was to sacrifice himself. I'm just like, oh, but he's flying away with Zophy. So he's okay? So everyone's okay, but they have to separate? How does that work? Just explain that for me. And one more thing, which I forgot to mention literally just before this, but Hayata does not remember anything. So from episode 1 up to episode 39, after this separation, he does not have any memory or recollection of what happened throughout the show. And I'm just like, I would have liked to see another episode just to see how that would work, because surely the team would be like, why doesn't he remember anything? What's going on? Even the SSP would be a bit suspect of that. Just the idea of a show about Ultraman and a human host in the end separating from him and then not remembering anything that happened. That is a very interesting concept for another episode or another few episodes. I thought to myself, oh, that would be interesting to elaborate on with that particular storyline. I thought that'd be quite intriguing to see. And I'm just like, oh, I wish they had another episode now. 39 is an odd number as well. I'm just like, Hayata remembers nothing. Ultraman flies away with Zophy. The show is over. And I was just like, I want more. I want more. It was a good episode. It's just that I wanted more from the ending, I feel. But yeah, there you go. I don't know if Hayata returns for any future show, but I kind of wish he does, just to like see this version of Hayata that has no recollection of what happened with Ultraman. So I'm intrigued about that. But that was a good show overall. Really enjoyed that, and that is the end of these reviews. And at some point I will start watching UltraSeven. I'll do an episode 1 review first, upload it, and then I'll start watching the rest. I'll wait for the comments for that first, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, sorry the review wasn't as good as it could have been. It would have been a lot better if I did it straight after I watched it. I probably should have just waited to watch it and then reviewed it, but it is what it is. I still had my notes written down, and I still went through the episodes a little bit just to like double check on myself. But yeah, overall, I had a great time watching the series, even though it took so long. But it was really enjoyable, and there were some really good episodes in there, and a great show. So I finally watched the original, the OG Ultraman show, and obviously UltraGear as well. So I feel like it's a big step to watch those two specifically. So that is a good start. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and goodbye.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it